Well, that was quick. Who is this character? What happened?
If she was a man, would you be saying the same thing?
It makes you rethink everything.
This book is saving me.
Hello and welcome to another video. So today we are doing what I've been thinking about doing for a while, and so as obviously you saw on the thumbnail, that is a continuing book series I'm in the middle of. Last year, I think it was like my second ever video, I did a video where I was like going through all the book series I was in the middle of, and then we realised that there are quite a lot. I think there were like 16, 17 around there, and since then I have actually completed quite a few. I think I've got through like 4 series that were on that list, and so this month when I was making my TBR, I added 2 series on there that I'm in the middle of because I want to check them off. So I thought, well, why not make a fun little video out of it and vlog me finishing these series. Here we have some books that are part of series that I've read. I think I'm gonna aim to finish 3 series during this video, so that would come out to about 4 or 5 books in this video, and I feel like that's good. That would take me probably about a week. If I like really get on it, I can do that in a week. Watch me do this in 2 weeks, but I'm gonna try and do this over a week. That's the time I've set aside for this vlog. I'd like to get through 3 series, but we'll see how much I do in a week. If in a week I only do 2, then that's fine. If in a week I do 4, then that's even better. Let's go through the TBR that we have got. In my reading journal, I have a little series tracker spreadsheet, so that was very helpful when figuring out what I wanted to read in this. So I'm sticking with easy ones. So the series that I'm prioritizing for this video are the Shadow and Bone trilogy. So I've read book 1 and I've got book 2 and 3 left. The Dreamer trilogy, I read book 1, book 2, so I've got book 3 that I need to read. Once in Future, which is a duology, so I read book 1 and I need to read book 2. And then The Girls of Paper and Fire, which I read book 1 and I've got to read book 2 and 3. So those are like the 4 series we're going to be prioritizing in this video. I'm really excited to do this. I'm looking forward to getting through books that I have kind of had unfinished for a while. I know Once in Future was like 3 years ago, same for Girls of Paper and Fire. Shadow and Bone is a more recent start, like I said, over the summer, but still that was almost a year ago now. So I think it'll be really good to check these, to finally check these books off of my list, to get these series done and then be able to start new series, because I'm trying to prioritize old series that I'm reading before starting new ones. So if I get through some old series, then I can start some new ones, which I'm very much looking forward to. But anyway, so I think we're going to start off with the Shadow and Bone trilogy, just because that one is on my TBR and I know that that would be quite quick and easy for me to read. The first book, I didn't love it, I'm not gonna lie. I think I gave it like 2.5 stars. I didn't think it was that good, honestly, but it was Leigh Bardugo's debut novel, so I do think her writing style will get better. And I just really want to get to the Six of Crows duology, but I'm making myself read the Shadow and Bone trilogy first because that's the reading order to the Grishaverse. I don't know if book 2 and 3 are going to be better. I hope they are. I hope that her writing style gets better because I know it's better in Six of Crows, so I hope that I actually am going to see that progression throughout the books. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be picking up book 2 in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so it's called Storm and Siege, and that is a book on my TBR, so I'm very happy that I'm going to be taking a book off my TBR and checking a book off of my unfinished series list. But anywho, without any further ado, grab yourself a nice warm or cold drink, depending on your preference, and let's just get right on into the video. So, I've been reading for not very long. I got a new phone and it's doing the transfer thing, you know, when you transfer data from the old to the new phone, so I was kind of occupied with that and it's taking so long. Anywho, that's not the point. So I'm only at page 43, but they're only 260 pages. This series is like such a YA series. Like the books are short, the action is simple. This one, gotta appreciate how at the beginning it really gets right into the action. Gotta appreciate that. A lot of like second books, especially when at the end you have like a battle and they kind of escape, they try and start over, that kind of thing. They normally have like a chapter or 2 of them just like settling in, kind of resetting the stage, that kind of stuff. This one, I'm pretty sure it was literally like chapter 1. You had like a prologue, which was like 3 pages, and then it was literally chapter 1 when the Darkling comes back, and you're like, whoa, okay. Well, that was quick. It feels very YA, and I'm thinking maybe that's why I'm not liking it. I didn't like the first one because I felt like nothing happened and it wasn't very well written. I'm wondering if this one, I'm slightly biased because I didn't like the first one. So that means that obviously I'm not gonna like this one because I'm going into it already with like a negative idea of the series, if you will. But who knows? Who knows? All I'm saying is like, I'm kind of just reading it, I'm like, don't really feel anything. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely very YA. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels very YA and not necessarily in the best way. But I'm 40 pages in, so I really can't be making any judgment on the book. I'm just gonna lie in bed wait for my phone to transfer, read. Honestly, it's only 260 pages. There is a high chance that I finish this today, and that is my goal, to finish this one today, because tomorrow I'm just going to be a little busier with like editing and everything, and then my family's coming over at the end of the week as well, so I do know I'll be a bit busier. So if I can get through this book today and even start a second one and then finish that one tomorrow, then I'll be like chill for the rest of the week, so I can be a bit slower with the others. So that is the goal, but we'll see how it goes. I am honestly getting through this slower than I thought. I'm really struggling to connect to the story, to the characters, to get invested, so it's like making me read a bit slower. But I'm at page 207, so on the Kindle version there are 260 pages, so I'm almost finished. So we're gonna definitely get this finished tonight. Probably gonna take me another hour to finish this. I'm not loving it. I don't know if it's because I didn't love the first one and so it's kind of cast a negative like light on the rest of them. I don't know if it's because it's just generally not that good, but I don't know, I'm not really getting invested in the story, and I don't love any characters. Like, I think all of them have their annoying traits, which isn't great. You're supposed to have a character you want to root for. I guess it's kind of Nikolai, but aside from that, I don't know. I mean, it's not objectively bad. I'm just struggling to get into it. I also feel like, again, we got into the action like really quickly at the beginning. Like immediately, chapter 1, we were in things. We had some like action scenes at the beginning, and then you just had this really long middle of like planning, which I guess you need planning in a book, and it's a trilogy, so it's got like middle book syndrome where it's really just, you know, a bridge between book 1 2. I don't know, I'd have to read book 1, but because I also felt like in book 1 you had like nothing happen until the end. I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's these books. Feels like the pacing is off, but it's not really the pacing, it's kind of just, I feel like we're taking a lot of time for not much to happen. But anywho, so I'm just gonna keep reading. Like I said, probably about an hour left. But I finish this book, I'm gonna finish this one tonight, and that way tomorrow we can immediately get started on book 3. I finished it. I'm gonna move on to the next one, obviously. I don't know, I kind of felt like we had a lot of nothing, and then we had like a big thing, then we went back to a small thing. Like, you have the big battle, and then we move on. Things have changed, but it felt, yeah, the pacing was a bit off, I think. I don't really know, I just didn't love it. I wasn't like attached. I'm looking forward to finishing the trilogy. So that does mean that the next Leigh Bardugo book I'll read will be Six of Crows. Very much looking forward to rereading that because I love the first one and I can't wait to read the second one. Obviously that won't be in this video. That's just like my mind thinking. Yeah, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. I think it's probably gonna get the same rating as the last one. It's like a 2.5 stars. I do think it was better written than the first one. I just don't think this is a series that is for me. I just can't connect to any of the characters. I'm not really rooting for them, and so it makes it hard to like fully enjoy and get invested in the book where you don't really like any of the characters. But anyway, we'll see how film with the last book. But there you go, we have gotten one book further into a series, so we are on our way to completing a new series. But anywho, it's bedtime, and first thing tomorrow morning we're gonna get started on book 3. Okay, so little update. I'm literally in the kitchen. It's a bit of a mess. I'm making dinner. Well, dinner's like made. I'm just waiting for it to boil. I am sizzle. I'm making a nice little pasta. Love pasta. Literally could eat pasta every day of the week for the rest of my life. But that's really not the topic on hand. The topic on hand is reading. So I am on page 40. I've not read a lot today. I've been pretty busy because my family is coming over tomorrow, so I've been cleaning the house. You know how it is. Whenever your family come over, you gotta clean the whole house. You gotta properly clean it. And also, since my sister's birthday, I had to go do some shopping, so I bought them some little presents because I'm nice like that. I got them. We're gonna go ceramic painting. So like, you know when you go to a little cafe and you get to have like little drinks and then you get to paint a little mug or something like that. That's gonna be so fun. I've been wanting to do that for ages. But again, we're getting off topic. I keep getting distracted. The book. So far, I don't know. I'm 40 pages in, you know. The last book, I was thinking about this, right? And I don't really read like any male main character fantasy books. They're all like the main character's a woman. And so a lot of the time they always have this dilemma of like, this new power of mine is changing me, and do I like the person I'm becoming? And people telling them, you're not like you used to be, this power's corrupting you. And I'm like, on the one hand, okay, maybe the power is actually corrupting them. On the other hand, a lot of these people are like 17, 18. I'm not the same person I was when I was 17, 18. You know, I've changed a lot because it's just called growing older. But also, like, if it were men, would people say this? Because sometimes the stuff these women do that make people say the power's changed you, it's corrupted you, is literally just tell this person, don't be an asshole. And I find that really, really interesting because I've been reading this book and literally some of the stuff that Alina's done that then Mal has been like, I don't like you, this isn't who you used to be. I'm like, she has had a lot of trauma, a lot of stress. and she was having a perfectly valid like lashing out reaction to someone being an asshole. If she was a man, would you be saying the same thing? But that's all. I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents because I find that actually really interesting. I've been reading for years and I'm sure it's something I've seen many times, but I'm only really thinking about it now. So there we go. Little interesting thought. Food for thought, if you will. But so far this one, I do appreciate these books really get right into it. They do not let you sit with the characters at the beginning. And I think maybe that's a YA thing. And I do like that because, like I said, struggle when they leave us too long. So far, not much has happened. Like, things have happened, but it's 40 pages, so it's literally just the very beginning. I like it because at least Alina is being a bit more, I can't think of it, like enforcing her opinion and her will a bit more. For these 40 pages at least, who knows, it's probably not gonna last for the book. She's probably like, Mal, you decide for me and I'm gonna follow whatever you do. Anywho, but yeah, so I'm probably just gonna sit here. It's gonna be like 10 minutes while the pasta boils. I'm just gonna sit here and read. And then after dinner, I'm just gonna lock in. But yeah, so I'm just gonna sit here and read for 10 minutes. There you go. Also, yeah, when I'm reading on Kindle, normally when I do vlogs, I have little like time lapses of me reading. And when I'm reading a book, you can see like me turn the page and I find that a bit more interesting. But I'm on a Kindle, it just looks like this, you know, just like, it doesn't look like anything. That's why I haven't really had any videos of me reading in this vlog. It's a personal choice. It's not that I forgot to film it. I just don't think it's gonna be that interesting. I'm sure you guys really don't care about this, but there you go. So I'm just gonna read. Okay, so it is the next morning. I know I said I was gonna lock in last night and I kind of did and didn't. I procrastinated a really long time and then I locked in. But still, we're almost done. Wait, no, that can't be true. I don't understand these books. We're at 130 out of 204. So I've only got 70 pages left. And I feel like we haven't, like, there's a challenge they haven't overcome. We haven't had the final battle. We haven't had then the, like, necessary, like, 5 pages of, and they all lived happily ever after. How are we gonna fit that into 70 pages? So we'll see how that goes. But honestly, I'm enjoying this one more. I don't know what it is. I know it's Alina who's finally, like, woken up to the fact that she's actually pretty powerful, pretty strong. I don't know if it's the way it's written. I am enjoying it a bit more. I will say, when Nikolai, because we kind of didn't have him at the very beginning and then he came in about not halfway through the book, less than, he came in at the beginning of the book and it was really funny because he's the like comedic relief character and you could tell every second sentence he said was some kind of like funny comment, was sarcastic, was humorous, and it was kind of like, I get that you need a comedic relief character and I get that Nikolai's funny and I do appreciate it. Like, I do like when you have characters like that in books, but on the other hand, it was like, bro was always on. He was always on. At a certain point, he doesn't need to have every single line be a joke. Either have some other comedic characters, have him like calm down a little, but anyway, honestly, I do think that is more a case of because I don't like the books. Like, if it had been a book I liked, I would not even have thought of it, but because it's a book that I don't necessarily love, I was like trying to find problems, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we've got, like I said, 70 pages left, so I think honestly this morning I'm just gonna try and get that done. Got a little bit of editing to do, but honestly 70 pages that'll take me about an hour, so if I just lock in for an hour, fingers crossed. Every time I say I'm gonna lock in, I end up not locking in, so I maybe need to stop saying it. I think we'll have this finished and we'll have checked a series off of our list, so that is great. I have finished, wait a second, finished Ruin Rising. You can't tell, but I like this one more than I like the first two. I still don't love it. I felt the final battle was kind of anticlimactic, but I do think it was definitely better of the 3. Probably still only like a 3 stars though, because it wasn't amazing. But yeah, I'm just glad it's over. Glad I can move on. Yeah, I felt the ending was kind of mid. It was more the story itself that I enjoyed than the last like 30 pages. I was kind of like, alright, I've got a series checked off my list, which I'm very happy about. So the next series we're going to read is probably going to be, we're going to read The Grey Warren next. So that is book 3 in the Dreamer Trilogy, because that's only 1 book. So that'll be easy to finish. At least I'll be able to take 2 series off the list in a short time. I can't really talk too much about this book obviously because it's the 3rd book in the series. I'm looking forward to Nikolai's duology though. I will eventually work my way there. He was probably my favourite character in these whole books. And I also really like Solia, and I know that she's also an important character in his books. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. But yeah, honestly I'm just glad it's over. But anywho, we're gonna read The Dreamer, starting series number 2. Okay, so I have started, like when I say started, I mean, I can't find my Kindle, but like I've read maybe 2 chapters of The Grey Warren, and I will say, because I read the first 2 books like a year ago, so far I'm kind of like, wait, who is this character? What happened? But it is slowly coming back. So there are definitely some things I'm kind of like, wait, who are you again? Like there was a character at the beginning I was like, who the hell is this? And then I was like, well, maybe I know who this is, but I'm not 100% sure. So I do think I need to get a bit further into the book to actually remember what happened. This is why I do try and read my series all at once, because I literally will forget everything that happened in the book, and then I'll read it and be like, what? And this is why also in this video I'm trying to finish some of the series that I have unfinished for like a while instead of my more recent ones, because that way they're the ones that are gonna disappear from my brain, that have already disappeared from my brain, let's not lie. But so far I do love the writing style. I love Maggie Stiefvater's writing style. I think it's just so unique and fun. I'm really enjoying being back in that, reading in that style again, and it's making me want to reread The Raven Boys. I love The Raven Boys and I definitely want to do a reread. Who knows, maybe this year, maybe not. As you can see, I've got a lot of series I need to finish before I'm starting a new one. So it has been a week since we last spoke. Wait, has it really been a week? Oh god. Anyway, so remember when I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get these series finished in a week, we're gonna be really quick about it, we're gonna lock in. None of those things happened. I have been reading a bit. Like I said, my family was over. This wasn't my fault. I literally went 3 days when I did not pick up a book, did not read a word, but that's fine. It happens to the best of us. The family was over and we were doing things all the time, and I just never really had an opportunity, like a chill moment or a moment of calm in which I could pick up my book, and so I just didn't. And there you go. I read a bit this morning and I'm at page 40, and so that doesn't seem like a lot, but basically because I like downloaded this PDF, like it's not an actual Kindle book, the writing is ridiculously small. So this book, which is normally probably like a 300-page book, only has 125 pages on this Kindle edition, so 40 pages is actually not bad. I'm 31% of the way in, so like I'm actually pretty far into the story. Like I said, it was really a struggle to get into this book because I hadn't read the last book since last February, so a year ago, and so many things, they were being mentioned, or there were characters and stuff, and I was like, wait, who is this person again? I've completely forgotten. So that made getting into it a bit slower. I wish like books had, you know, in series when they had like the previously on, I think books should have that. Books should have, oh, previously on at the beginning, where they like recap what's happened, give you a little refresh of the most important points, because that'd be so useful. I am enjoying it a lot more. I love Maggie Stiefvater's writing. I love her characters and the universe she had made, because obviously this is a spin-off from the Raven Boys, and so whenever I get a little glimpse of characters from the Raven Boys, it makes me really happy. So I really like this one, although so far I will say it's kind of been like the first two in that I feel like Maggie Stiefvater, she's a very atmospheric writer, and so that means that sometimes the plot is almost like not the main point of the story, if that makes sense. It's more the vibes, the characters, the writing style, but these books, you do not read them for that plot. So far not much has happened, but just because the way she writes and the universe and the characters, I am okay with that. Okay, so shocker, I'm back in bed. I actually did go and read on the balcony and it was lovely. But anywho, so I'm almost finished the book. I'm at page, I think like 100 out of 125. I'm liking it, I honestly am. I wish I'd read it like right after I finished 1-2. I would have enjoyed it so much more because I would have been lost at the beginning. But Maggie Stiefvater's writing is just so magical, and her characters are so interesting and well developed that I feel like it's impossible not to like her books, even if, like I said, sometimes the plot is not the main point of the story, but every single other part of the story is just so good that that's really good. It's making me really want to reread the Raven Boys though, because I love that book series. Also, we're learning some things in this one that are, well, I can't talk about them because they're both spoilers for the Raven Boys and then also for this series, but oh my god, I was shook. I was like, it makes you rethink everything, and I'm in two minds about that. Sometimes I like it because I think it's like a fun way where it's like, oh my god, all these little things make sense and this makes me see in a whole different light. And sometimes it's like, yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense, they just wanted to change something but it doesn't actually fit with the story. This is one of the good ones where I know if I were to reread the Raven Boys, I'd see everything in a different light and it'd be really cool. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm almost done, so I think I am just gonna lie in bed and finish these last 20 pages. It shouldn't take me too long, but we'll see. And that way I'll have checked another series off the list and I'll have done so today. I'm just gonna lie in bed and keep reading. We can now check a second series off of my list. I really liked it. I don't know what to rate it because I do feel because I love these characters and I love Maggie Stiefvater's writing so much, I kind of finished the book and it's just like this haze of love and a great book and everything. But then when I think about it, I'm actually like, well, same with the Raven Boys. I thought the ending was a bit interesting. It wasn't bad, but some elements I was like, right, okay, this just happened, this just got resolved, this person was actually, like, it felt not rushed. I don't think that's quite the right word, but like I said, the plot is not the reason you read these books. You really read it for the characters and for the vibes, and the characters and the vibes did not disappoint. But no, it was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. I'm very happy that I finished the series, and I'm kind of sad that there's no more, because obviously, well, this was a spin-off from the original series, so when I finished the original series I didn't know there was the spin-off. Like, I kind of forgot about it in between, but I didn't know it was there. But now there's nothing, so that's a shame. But no, I really like it. The magic system, the story, the whole thing is just so unique. Like, it was the same with the Raven Boys. They're just such unique stories. Like, in this, the magic system is basically you have these people who are dreamers, and when they dream they can bring things back with them, and like, so they create things that way. Dreams are so interesting to me, and I feel like they're not explored enough in fantasy, and so I really like that. But anywho, it's over, and I'm glad I finished it tonight so I can like sleep on it before I get into the next series. Okay, so I have started Once and Future Book 2, so The Sword and the Stars. I'm really enjoying it. It was exactly what I needed. I wasn't necessarily like on the edge of a slump, but I was getting there, I think, because I didn't like Shadow and Bone, and then just because Mission Impossible, no. The Grey Warren, like, I read the beginning of it and then I didn't read it, and then I read the end, and so there was also a bit of pressure on me to read the end because I wanted to get done for this video, just because I could feel myself, like, I was low-key thinking maybe the rest of this month I would just read nothing, or I'll just pick a really easy book and just read that for like the rest of the month, read nice and slowly so that I don't slump. However, this book is saving me. This book is saving me. I can literally feel it. I was reading it in the transport. Like, I was stood up in the metro. There wasn't space for me to sit down. And I had my Kindle out and I was reading the book. I feel like that's just all it needs to say. If you know public transport, you know that a book has to be good to get you wanting to read it in the metro. Anywho, I'm page 69 out of 275. So this one is definitely the longest book I think that we're going to be reading during this challenge. And I'm really enjoying it. There are some things, again, same with the Grey Warren, just because it's been... This one, I think it's been like 3 years since I read book 1. So there was some things I was like, wait, what? Like, there's a character who died that I forgot they died. Like, they mentioned them, I was like, oh, when are they gonna show up? And then I realized, oh wait, no, they're dead. So that was really fun, but I'm really liking it. It's just so easy to read, and it's so fun, and the characters are so fun, and it's just so insanely different from literally everything I've ever read before. And it is exactly what I needed. So there you go, folks. If you're thinking of slumping and want something to get you out of a slump, I would recommend this duology, because it's working for me. It's getting me out of that like pre-slump. It's getting me back into it. It's making me love this so much, so I'm so happy that I picked it up. But anyway, yeah, so I'm 70 pages in, like I said, and I have a little bit of schoolwork to do because I just came back from uni, so I've got a bit of work that I need to get through. But then this afternoon, not this afternoon, this evening, I'm just gonna lie in bed. Maybe I'll try and sit somewhere else. Maybe I'll try and sit somewhere that isn't my bed for once, but I just want to get it finished because I'm loving it. I don't even want to get it finished, I just want to get further into it because I'm loving it and I want to see how things turn out, and I'm remembering now how the other one ended, what happened in it, and I cannot wait to see more. Okay. So, I will say I'm confused, and this is why you should read series like all at once instead of splitting them over multiple years, but you live and you learn. Basically, from my understanding, the timing doesn't make sense, because book 1 to 2, it was immediate, like, you ended book 1 and you immediately picked up book 2, that's how the timing of that goes. And then so far book 2 has been like, what, 3 weeks, a month, let's say a month max, but they keep talking about having spent a year doing something, or doing nothing other, like a peaceful year of nothing, and I cannot remember the book enough to know when that was, and so therefore it does mean that the like timing of the last book is very confusing to me, because like I said earlier with the character who died, did they die before that year, or did they die at the end of that year? I do not remember, which is really annoying. It is what it is. Anyway, aside from that, I'm enjoying it. I page 101, so I've read about 40 pages since we last spoke, and I'm really liking it. I love this story. I'm really interested to see how it goes. There's a meddling character, and I kind of hate, not even meddling characters, but people who are like, you know, you have like sometimes gods and goddesses, and they're often described as, they don't like understand human emotions. For them, human lives are like fleeting, 'cause they live forever, that kind of thing. And so they're like very cold and callous. They have their own way of doing things, their own understanding. They don't feel things in the same way as humans do. Characters like that are really annoying to me because it means that sometimes they do like the most asshole things. But for them it's like, oh, I didn't know I was doing this. And they mess up the story. And like, I get that's the whole point of the story, but it's still something that personally me, I struggle with. So that's kind of annoying. I'm enjoying this. So we have officially finished The Sword and the Stars, and that means we officially finished 3 series, which was our goal for this vlog, so I'm very, very happy. I loved it. Sword and the Stars, I gave 4 stars. It was really good. The only reason it wasn't a 5 star is because it just didn't have that feeling. Also, they did like kind of defeat the bad guy with like the power of friendship, which most of them I don't like, but I feel like in that story it just worked because it was a story about like hope and about overcoming, and it was really more like a motivational story than anything else. So I thought it fit perfectly that the bad guy was just defeated by the power of friendship and all that. Like, not actually the power of friendship, but you know what I mean, like it wasn't like a battle or anything. It was kind of just like a talking to and a realization. It was perfect for the story, and it was really sweet. It was really beautiful. I really liked it. So yeah, that was a 4 star. The thing is though, I literally like remember nothing from book 1. I technically know what happens. They talk about enough in book 2 because I read that book 2 years ago. I really could not tell you like the actual plot points. They mentioned things and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna go with it, pretend this is book 1. I would definitely recommend that duology and read it like back to back. But it was a really fun book. It was the perfect amount of fun, lighthearted, but also like it had really nice messages and it was really heartwarming. It was really nice. It kind of reminded me of TJ Klune a little bit because it was just filled with so much hope for those who are different, and I really liked it. I really liked it. But anywho, we have actually finished the goal, which was to finish 3 series that I have unfinished. I'll be able to check those off of my reading journal. But yes, that also means that this vlog has come to an end. I hope you guys had fun. I had fun filming this, honestly, even though it took longer than planned and the first series I read, Shadow and Bone, wasn't the best. But I had a lot of fun, and I'm happy that it gave me a real sense of achievement because not only did I read books, but I also got to check them off my list. And just the act of like checking it off is such a source of dopamine to me. It's such an achievement. So I had a lot of fun. There wasn't as much as me like sitting and reading in this one, but like I said, it's because I was reading on Kindle. The whole thing I did on Kindle. So that's also really good because I want to use my Kindle more this year, and this vlog has allowed me to do it. But I will definitely be doing another one of these because filming it really motivates me to finish these series, and like you guys saw, I have a lot of unfinished series, so I'll definitely do another one of these. But anywho, it's the end of the video, so I must bid you adieu. Have an absolutely wonderful week, and I will see you next Friday for a new video. Until then, bye.